amazing. I'm the reason everybody fired up this evening. I'm exhausted, barely breathing, holding on to what I believe in. No matter what, you'll never take that from me.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the King's Court. My name is Kabir Alwalia, and this is my brother Kerman.
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
So last week, I'm really sorry for not posting a video. Us being high schoolers, we were busy doing normal high school things. We had to study, we had to take the ACT last Saturday, so that took up a lot of time in our schedule, and I'm truly sorry about not being able to give you guys a video, but hopefully this more than makes up for it. So without further ado, let me just introduce some of the topics we'll be talking about. Obviously, the biggest news from all of last week was USA taking home the gold from the FIBA World Cup, and they beat Serbia, and it was just an outstanding defeat. They kind of whooped them. It looked pretty inevitable, but they won, and we'll be discussing that. And then a little bit later in the show, we will be discussing who you think will benefit the most from playing in FIBA, and we will also be talking about how surprised were you, and I'll give my reaction to Spain losing to France. We also have our sneak of the week right here, which is I don't want to say the whole name, but this is the coat of arms Puma Disc Blaze collaboration with Kith and Ronnie Fieg, and this is the mint colorway, so we'll talk about that a little bit later, and then I will hit you with a really cool releases that are coming up. You'll see later, and you'll just be surprised. So that's all coming up. Okay, so the United States defeated Serbia 129-92 to take home the gold medal in the FIBA 2014 World Cup in Spain. So Carmen, that was a mouthful. Carmen, what do you think what's your reaction to the USA taking home the gold?
Well, Kabir, I don't have much of a reaction, or as much of a reaction as I would if the USA had beaten some other teams such as Spain. No harm done I'm not ripping on Serbia or anything, but just Serbia wasn't as much of a competition to Team USA, as was very evident throughout the entire game. Right off the top, Kyrie Irving just pretty much took over the game, and from then there was no looking back, and USA just dominated the rest of the game. Serbia, by the time the first quarter ended, they had no chance, and I just think that I'm surprised that that Team USA was able to beat every team on their way to the championship. So they were able to beat them so effectively and efficiently. I think they beat every team by at least 20 points, if I'm not mistaken, and that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, that's like that's like having like LeBron and Kevin Durant on your team, even though those players couldn't play this time. So I'm just pleased with how they played, but I'm disappointed that we didn't get to see a USA versus Spain matchup.
You know, I'm with you, Kerman. I think that this defeat and USA eventually bringing home the gold was inevitable. They're just too much. They have too much talent compared to teams, especially like Serbia, whose best player is Miroslav Radojica. So I just think that the USA, compared to everyone else that they faced up against in FIBA, besides Spain or France, they just outweigh them completely as far as talent goes. So I mean, I watched the game. Kyrie Irving went berserk, especially in the first quarter, and he took home the MVP. So I just think that the US had too much talent for us to be like, oh my God, that's so amazing that the USA won. To me, it was inevitable. It was an inevitable outcome, and I just think that no one could have stopped it, except for Spain. But obviously, France had beat Spain. So the US was just too dominant at this point in the tournament to lose. So FIBA has a history of allowing young players, young stars in the NBA to showcase their true talent on the global stage. So who do you think will influence on Team USA? Who do you think will influence the most from their experience on Team USA?
So Kabir, honestly, I think from this tournament, the player who has benefited the most is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was drafted #1 about 2 years ago, and he's clearly the future of the New Orleans Pelicans as of now. Now, this is a guy who, the year before last season, he averaged 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks a game, which is, it's pretty good for a rookie, but not franchise player worthy as of that point. But the next season, he made a huge jump. He averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks a game. Now that's absolutely ridiculous. It just shows his crazy improvement. Also this summer, he apparently added about 20 pounds of muscle, something like that. So all in all, I think being on the world stage in the FIBA tournament, I think it gives him the experience that a young player like Anthony Davis needs. It teaches him how to perform under pressure. You know, in FIBA, if you lose one game, then there's no way you can win the gold medal. So it's pretty much all or nothing for all the players on that squad, and especially Anthony Davis. He took up a leadership role with Kevin Durant, Kevin Love, and Blake Griffin all opting out of playing this summer. So I think along with James Harden, Anthony Davis really led that team to get the gold medal this year.
For me, I actually have two players who I think will influence the most. First of all, I agree with you. Anthony Davis will make a huge jump next year, which I believe personally. But I also think a guy like Kenneth Faried will make a huge jump next year. He was the primary, he played the primary power forward position for this FIBA team, and he just dominated with his athleticism, his defense, his rebounding ability. Faried just kind of took over. He provided a bunch of outstanding highlights. He contributed often to the team, both defensively and offensively. And who knows, maybe this could just be like a coming out party for Faried. He's shown so much potential in his time in Denver. His numbers haven't been outstanding, but with any athletic big guy who's as young as Faried, you got to think that there has to be a lot of potential that can be uncapped. But as much as I think Faried and Davis will improve from this, I also think that Derrick Rose will influence greatly. Derrick Rose, there was so much hype leading up to the first game, even if it was an exhibition game for FIBA, just because Derrick Rose was making his comeback. No one was really certain about how healthy he would feel, how good he would feel, and he didn't really show much promise in his first couple games, but throughout the whole tournament, he came along, he progressed a little bit more, and now Derrick Rose looks like he's completely healthy, he's ready to go for the season. He's been saying it in statements to the media. So I just think that as much as it will help Anthony Davis and Kenneth Faried, it will also help Derrick Rose. Even though he's an established star, it will help him. It will help him grow his confidence when he's playing in the court. Just because his time with FIBA has shown that he's, hey, I'm healthy. I'm Derrick Rose. I'm healthy, and I'm ready to come back to the NBA and contribute on a nightly basis. So to me, Spain seemed like a clear-cut option to go and represent Spain in the FIBA World Cup finals. Obviously that didn't happen. They lost to France in the quarterfinals. So what's your reaction to Spain losing prematurely? How surprised were you by it?
Me personally, I was definitely surprised by Spain losing to France, because mostly in part because France didn't have its NBA superstars in Tony Parker and Joakim Noah playing for a team. I don't think their NBA coaches wanted them to spend the summer over in Spain just this year. But also because I was also shocked because Spain, with the big men trio and Marc Gasol, Pau Gasol, and Serge Ibaka, they're pretty much getting manhandled by France's sophomore in the NBA named Rudy Gobert, he didn't have that great of a season in Utah last year. He was okay. He came off the bench, but really nothing much going on over there as of last season. But in this World Cup, he just kind of took over and just pretty much dominated Spain and pretty much controlled the paint. He grabbed every rebound that came his way. And also another huge factor in that game was Boris Diaw, who France pretty much they let their offense flow through Boris. And I was surprised, especially because Spain had all those NBA players, those former NBA players, the experience, the former EuroLeague MVP, and they lost in a sad fashion to France in their hometown.
Just like you and probably everyone else, I was also shocked by the fact that Spain lost to France. I mean, if you look at it just player by player comparison, how can a team led by Rudy Gobert, Boris Diaw, Nicolas Batum, and Evan Fournier beat a team led by Pau Gasol, Marc Gasol, Ricky Rubio, and Jose Calderon? I mean, those are established NBA players who in no time will they be free agents for an extended amount of time. Teams would clamor to get these people on Spain, whereas a guy like Rudy Gobert, teams weren't even sure what he could bring to the table. So I was extremely shocked by the fact that these young guys for France defeated Spain, and it wasn't a close game. It was in convincing fashion. It was over 10 points. So I just think that, I mean, personally, I was extremely shocked by this. And as much as we said that, you know, Farid, Rose, and Anthony Davis can benefit from FIBA play, we were only focusing on the U.S. I also think that maybe a guy like Gobert could flourish next year. Maybe the guys in Utah kind of noticed that, hey, this guy has a lot of talent. He's a really good shot blocker, he's a really good rebounder, and he's athletic. So as much as Farid may blossom next year, I think same could go for Rudy Gobert. But to answer the question directly, I was extremely shocked by the fact that by Spain losing to France in the quarterfinals. So before we get started with the sneak of the week, a huge announcement was recently made regarding LeBron's next signature shoe. His next signature shoe, which is his 12th shoe, is slated for release on October 11th, and this kind of ties in with where we brief you guys on the upcoming releases. This NSRL colorway, as they call it, it's kind of blue and orange. It's a nice colorway, and it's going to be the first of the LeBron 12s to come out October 11th, followed by 6 others that will release up till the end of 2014. And LeBron made the announcement along with Nike members very recently up in Oregon. So a really cool shoe. You guys should definitely look forward to it. It's releasing at a retail value of $200. And the thing about this shoe that is different than all the other shoes is the soles, guys. They have the clear translucent soles, except they have, it's really hard to describe, but they have pods on them. I mean, you can explain all that.
They're pretty much hexagonal pods that are multicolored, and they just look really cool. Apparently they're supposed to provide for sturdiness in the shoe, more balance, and I mean, in LeBron's case, whenever he's on the court, it's supposed to provide more explosiveness and, yeah, just overall quickness, just to help him as a player.
Yeah, so I just think that looks really cool on the shoe, and just how they introduced the Flyknit material on the Kobe 9s last year. Nike has announced that they will continue the use of these multicolored hexagonal pods on the soles on multiple upcoming shoes. One such shoe is called the Nike Hypercross, which will be releasing October 10th. So you guys should keep your eye out on any other shoes that Nike decides to place this really cool and really innovative hexagon shaped pods on their soles. Just looks really cool. So guys, this week's sneak of the week is the Puma Disc Blaze. These ones are a collaboration with Kith, which is a New York based sneaker store, and Ronnie Fieg, who is very popular for collaborating with Saucony and Asics on many different shoes that he creates. So this is the mint colorway of those, and it's part of a pack called the Coat of Arms pack. It also comes with a colorway that has kind of like a coral red color on the toe. So I'll just go over the shoe for you guys. This mint right here, it's really cool mint because it provides a lot of color. It just looks really cool, and it's made of suede. The suede is extremely soft, and the suede just goes around the whole toe, the toe area. And kind of up here, this is the part that a lot of people find kind of weird about the shoe, but personally I like it a lot. It's the disc mechanism that Puma adds to the shoe. Rather than laces, you can just twist the disc and it tightens the shoe for you. I think it looks really cool, especially since a lot of people now like wearing joggers with these kind of shoes, you know, like the low cut, no socks, whatever. I just think that the shoe looks really cool, and really the shoe was made for jogger wearing or whatever. So it looks, I like the disc right here. And then if you kind of go around, there's a lot of leather accents around it. This right here, I think Puma calls it the cage, and that's kind of, when you twist the disc, that's kind of what gets tightened to compress your foot. So around it is kind of, there's some leather, and there's, if you look at the midsole right here, it's spotted with, you know, just a bunch of white spots, and those actually have 3M on them. So if you flash it, you'll see really bright spots instead of just these regular white ones. And if you look at the insole, you probably can't get a good look, but you can see it says Kith right here, and on the opposite one it says Coat of Arms. And kind of transferring over to the sole right here, The sole is straight up blue. Like, it looks really cool. It's a saturated color. It's a nice color. It goes well with the toe right here. So overall, this is an extremely underrated shoe. I got them for, I think, $225, and they were dead stock. I think it's a really good shoe. I think just this disc concept is really innovative by Puma. And, you know, I just like the shoe. It's a cool shoe in general.
That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our videos on YouTube.
Thank you guys for joining, and please be sure to join us next time. Thank you, and see you later.